Hello everyone, welcome to my presentation. My name is Tuan and today I'm very excited to share with you our experience on developing educational content for highly immersive virtual environments, or HIVEs for short. As you are all aware, simulation as a training modality can assist healthcare practitioners in developing abilities in dealing with high acuity, time-sensitive clinical scenarios in a safe, supervised environment. It's difficult to deny that technology is increasingly being used to improve context in simulation, and one such tool I want to discuss today is HIVEs. One of the things that intrigue us to HIVE is that they allow learners to be immersed in a physical space with a rich auditory, olfactory and visual environment. At our InterSim Centre in Belfast, these HIVEs are being projected in a simulation room we call the Cave, and being more than just a novelty, this allows us to replicate hard-to-teach environments to create realistic scenarios that learners may encounter in their professional practice. These experiences are engaging, interactive, and they give the students the chance to learn and practice new skills in a safe setting. As HIVEs become more popular in simulation, we wanted to figure out how to educationally produce our own content that will help learning. We tried to look out for frameworks, but sadly there was none that we could come across. This then inspired us to set up a project with the aim to develop pedagogically informed content for HIVE, and as a result, our team had identified 6 essential steps to guide the development of HIVE content, which I will now go over with you one by one. Step 1. A multidisciplinary team must be formed. This would comprise of a content producer who is a health practitioner, a technician who specializes in audio and visual material, a simulation practitioner educator who can provide guidance on the teaching framework. Last but not least, the learner, to ensure that the material is learner-centered throughout its creation. Step 2. Content with intent. The HIVE learning activity will only be effective if its content aligns with the intended educational purpose. Therefore, it is crucial to set up clear learning objectives from the beginning. To design an effective HIVE, think about what should be in the scenario and how to include key aspects that portray authenticity. It is also mindful to think of making the scene as timeless as possible and consider the diversity and inclusiveness in its content. Once you've decided on the story for the HIVE material, you'll need to plan out all of the logistics for filming. This will include scouting locations, conducting risk assessment for specific shoots, obtaining permission and consent, scheduling a date and time, prepping your audio-visual equipment and any necessary props, and planning for additional considerations such as bad weather. On the filming day, additional risk assessment is essential, as does the setup of the scene. You will also need to gain consent from individuals who may be present in the footage. Capture the scene and play back the clip right away to make sure there's no issue. If there is, try again. Once you are finished, take down the equipment and leave the location in the same condition that you found it. During the post-production process, you'll be analyzing and running your content in your HIVE cave, as well as re-editing the footage if necessary. Of course, before finalizing your content material, get user feedback to see what you can improve in the future. To this date, we had produced 42 pieces of content that are being actively used in our center. To keep things simple, we chose to categorize the scenarios based on their location and intended training objectives. And now I'm going to show you a series of environments and how we use them to create clinical scenarios. So for example, here you can see a lovely garden. This particular scene would be found under the home environment, and the prompt may be an injury sustained while operating a chainsaw. The patient will then be picked up by the first responders either by air or ground. All these would be under pre-hospital care, and you'll be tested on your communication and handover skills. Once that's all done, the patient will be admitted to the hospital and could be found using secondary care services such as the CT scan or the ICU. As previously mentioned, the goal of this project was to provide a framework for creating HIVE content that was based on pedagogy rather than technology. We believe that producing high-quality HIVE content will improve learning and allow for content sharing among simulation professionals. In terms of future study, we would like to look at the framework's impact, if any, and how it could be improved to help our students learn better. Thank you for listening.